Okay, let me put all of this away now that I took all of it out and I just organized all my drawers. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the must-have products that you need from the drugstore, and I have lots and lots and lots of products in here. So I'm super excited for this video. Before the video even starts, make sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you like what you're watching so far, and if you're wanting to see what drugstore products you absolutely need in your kit, then let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna go in order of how I kind of apply my makeup and how I feel like most people apply their makeup. So the first thing that I do when I put on my makeup is primer. So this one is probably no surprise to any of you guys, but my all-time favorite primer, and one that I think that you all need, is the One Heck of a Blot primer from Soap & Glory. This is for you oily skin girls out there who need help with your oil staying at bay. You need help, you know, making your foundation last longer throughout the day. This primer absolutely does that. It is incredible. It has helped my skin so much. This one I think is around $10. This is my absolute favorite primer for the skin, but another good one from the drugstore is the Rimmel Stay Matte. This one is around $5. It's a little bit cheaper than this one, and this one's super good as well. This is what I was using before I found the Soap & Glory one, and I didn't want to leave the dry skin girls out. So if you guys have dry skin and you're wanting a primer that really helps your foundation last a little bit longer but also moisturizes your skin, this one's super weird, but it is a tried and true product, and I use this on a lot of ladies that need makeup done that have drier skin, and it is the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm. And this is like such a weird product because it's not even geared, I mean, it's not even advertised as a primer, but this is a very liquidy gel kind of, and once you put it on your face it becomes a little tacky, which is so good for making your foundation stick and making it really sink into the skin. So this is a super good one for dry skin, and I even use this on my skin, and then I'll put my One Heck of a Blot on top of it because it just really grabs at anything you put on top of it, making your makeup last so much longer. I might be a little excessive here, but I have 4 foundations in front of me that are just my holy grail, and I love them. I don't even have a higher end foundation that works for me as well as these do. So the first, I mean, these are also near and dear to my heart, but I'll go ahead and talk about the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. This is a super good foundation that is a little bit more of a higher coverage foundation. They say it's super duper full coverage. I don't agree with that claim. I think it is kind of a low high coverage foundation. I still can't cover up all of my blemishes in 1 layer. I can with 2. So this is a super good one from the drugstore. I would think this one would be really good for like normal skin, and oily skin is really good too. I just find that it sinks into my smile lines a little bit, but that's pretty much with any foundation for me. So this is a super good one from the drugstore, and I think it's around $10. So the next one is my little baby. Y'all know I love the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. It is just a staple for my makeup. If I'm having a long day and I know that I need something to last all day, then I obviously wear this one, and it is just such a good foundation, and it's about medium coverage. It is a little bit buildable, but not too much. I think this is around $6 or $7 at the drugstore, so super good foundation, and the shade range in this is phenomenal. I think there's like 30 shades or something, so I feel like everyone will be able to find their shade in this foundation. Another great foundation that I actually just restocked on because it's such a good foundation. This one's very similar to the Milani Conceal and Perfect one. I feel like it's one of the more fuller coverage foundations from the drugstore, and the shade range in this is also super duper good, and this is just a more full coverage foundation, and it lasts so well on my skin, and it is just such a good foundation. This one I think is like $8 or $9. So my last foundation is a newer one to my collection, but as you'll see in a lot of my videos, I bring up this foundation, and it is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation, and it's a newer drugstore foundation on the market, but it is one that I have tested and I've worn, and it is just such a good foundation. This one is more of a medium coverage foundation. It is a little buildable. I don't think it gets quite to full coverage, but for you girls that don't want something super full coverage every single day, then this one's a super good one. I wear this pretty much every single day, and it is a very good foundation. So I have a couple concealers. I know you guys don't see me using a lot of drugstore concealers, and the only reason why I don't really use a lot of drugstore concealers is because a lot of them don't have light enough shades for me. So I usually gear more towards my Tarte Shape Tape, and I'll put my ColourPop concealer over it. The ColourPop concealer is like $6, but it's not something you can find straight at the drugstore, so I didn't include it in this video. But ColourPop and Morphe are two brands that are online. Morphe is actually at Ulta, but I'm gonna still name a couple that I really love the formula of. They're just not light enough for me, so I can't wear them. I use these on clients. So one of them, the first concealer I'm gonna talk about is the Maybelline, is it Maybelline Fit Me? I love a lot of the Maybelline Fit Me line, obviously. But this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and it is a super good concealer. It's about medium to full coverage, and it's a super good concealer. It doesn't really crease underneath my eyes, and it lasts all day. Another one that I love from the drugstore, and I wish was light enough for me, is the NYX HD Concealer Studio Photogenic Concealer, and this is a super good one, comes in a lot of shades, just is not light enough for me, so I'm not able to use it, but these two are super good and can be found right at the drugstore. Next up is powders, and I have a few here that I would like to talk about, and a few that you probably haven't seen me talk about on my channel before. This is the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder. This is a super good powder if I want to set my face or if I want to touch up throughout the day. It's a super good translucent powder. It's doesn't have any color or anything like that, but it's a super good mattifying powder. So if you guys are oily out there, this one is super good for mattifying the face. That's my only pressed powder I have. The next two are loose powders, and the first one is the Maybelline Fit Me powder in Fair, I believe, and it's a super good finely milled, like velvety powder, and it's so good for setting the under eyes. And I set my whole face with this, and it just gives me a super airbrushed look, super duper good. The next one is the Coty Airspun Loose Translucent Powder. If you aren't new to my channel, you know that I love this. This is a super good powder. Oh, I didn't even say prices of the other things. The Catrice Prime and Fine, I think it's like $3 or $4, super inexpensive. The Maybelline Fit Me one, I think is like $6 or $7, and around the same for this powder. But these are all really good powders from the drugstore for baking, anything like that, super good. This one isn't quite as finely milled as this one or velvety as this one, so it's just your preference what kind of texture you're wanting in your powder. So those are some great powders from the drugstore. The next category is bronzer, and I laugh because you guys like don't even need to know what I'm gonna say because I use it all the time. This is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, and I use the shade Light Bronzer. I'm gonna try bronzer as well. It seems a little more cool toned, which will be nice to try out. This one is very, very, very warm, but it smells like tropical beautifulness, but it is a great bronzer. It's almost has a little bit of a sheen in it, which just really makes your face look so natural and so glowy, and it is the best bronzer I've ever used in my entire life. Another bronzer that I love, and I haven't actually, this one smells good too. This is a bronzer that I haven't used in a while, but it's one that I've loved for so long, and it is the Essence, I can't even read it anymore, Essence Sun Club bronzer for lighter skin, and this one has a very similar tone to the Butter Bronzer, like almost identical actually. This one just has a little more shimmer in it. This one I believe is around $10 or $11. It's a little more expensive from the drugstore. I believe this one is like $4. Essence is super inexpensive, and I just really love this bronzer. If you guys are my skin tone, these bronzers are going to be super good for your fair skin. These also come in a lot of other shades, so you'll be able to find them in deeper shades. The next category is blush, and I think one brand from the drugstore that really kills blushes and makes them so good. Every single kind of blush they have is so good, but the brand that I'm talking about is Milani, and they have some great baked blushes, which is Luminoso. I use it all the time on my channel. There's Luminoso that I have, which is like a super orangey corally shade, and it is so beautiful. I have this in a couple other shades as well, and this is more of a shimmery bronzer. And then they also have the powder blushes, the rose powder blushes. They come in a few shades as well, and this one's just so beautiful. It's got a little rose imprint on it, and this is a matte blush, and these are two bronzers that are super good from Milani, and I think they're around $7 or $8. So the next category is highlight, and you guys know that I have so many highlights from the drugstore that I love. So the first one is actually like my holy grail highlighters, high-end and drugstore. This is the, I don't actually know if they carry this exact palette anymore. This is something I got from Five Below, and I just kind of got it on a whim, and I swatched it in there, and I was like, I need this. So this is actually the best highlighters I've ever used in my entire life. Mostly these two shades because the other two are a little bit darker for me, but these are stunning. This is from Profusion. I don't even know if I said that. This was $5 and it was from Profusion. And these highlighters, when I tell you, they look almost a little chunky in the pan, but I'm gonna swatch them for you. They are like the most beautiful wet looking highlighters. Like you put them on and your skin looks wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me do it with my other hand because this hand is already swatched too much. So I'm gonna apply these on my hand and show you guys what they look like. They are absolutely, I don't know if this even does it justice. Like these are the most beautiful highlights, and every single time I wear them, people are like, what is on your face? And I'm like, $5 highlighting palette. And I love this because it has a lot of different shades, so you're able to use it on people, like clients, if they need like something darker. So this is a super great palette. Highly recommend it. If you find this palette, snag it up. So let me talk about a couple more like bolder highlights, ones that are a little more metallic, I guess is the word. And you guys have heard me talk about this one on my channel lots and lots of times. This is the e.l.f. highlighter in Moonlight Pearls, and it is just the most stunning highlighter ever. It is like $3 or $4, and it's just this beautiful, like very neutral highlight, so I'm able to wear it with warm toned looks or cool toned looks. And it is a super great highlighter. This is like $3, super good purchase. If you want to get one thing out of this video, get that. But I will say, I always forget to talk about this on camera. So the one thing about this highlighter though is, yes, it's $3, but when you purchase this, if you purchase any of their blushes, baked blushes especially, you need to scrape off the top layer. I know what you're thinking, like what? Like I'm not gonna purchase a highlighter and then scrape off the top layer. I kid you not, it's a different highlighter once you do that. So like when you first get this, the first layer is like super chalky and just there's no pigment at all. So if you scrape off that top layer, I usually use a bobby pin. I literally just like scrape it off like this all over, all the way and then I just dump it out and then I use it. This is literally so beautiful once you get past that. So it's $3, you gotta scrape off that top layer, but once you do, you won't regret it. It's so good. So this is a highlighter I believe I showed first on camera. Y'all knew my reaction when I tried this. It is so beautiful. I just use this shade because the other shade is much too dark for me. So I'm gonna swatch this for you as well. This is gotta be the most intense highlighter I've ever seen, and it is so wet looking on the skin when you blend it out. It's almost undetectable, and it just like looks like a wet sheen on your skin. And they also have a pink duo as well that has more of a pinky highlighter, which I want to pick up sometimes, but this one's a little more expensive. I think it's like $14 at Target. So this one is a little more expensive, but very worth it. So if you've been looking at those highlighters and you're like, I don't really like something that is that intense, this one's for you. This is from Physicians Formula, and it's called the Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls, and this is in Translucent Pearl. It is like this little, I don't know how to describe it. It looks like little pearls, and this is so subtle, but it is so beautiful. On an everyday basis, a lot of people don't want a super poppin' highlight. I mean, me personally, I do. But there's some days where I don't want something super. I want something that's almost undetectable and very soft on the skin. That's the word that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna try and swatch this one, although it's probably not gonna show up on camera like at all. So this is like what I wanna call like a bridal highlight. Like this is like something you'd wear on your wedding day that's super soft. Like I don't even think you can see that, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it is buildable. The more you build it though, the more powdery it looks. I would just swirl it in like this and then just really like circle it into your skin, and it's beautiful. It is so beautiful, and I love it, and I've had it for so long and I've used so much of it, and it's barely made a dent. So that's super good. Let's talk about eyeshadows. But before we talk about eyeshadows, we gotta talk about eyeshadow primers. So the only one that I really have been loving from the drugstore, I feel like that's one area of the drugstore that we really need to work on, is primers, eyeshadow primers. I feel like a lot of them are just greasy and crease, and they're not good. This one, on the other hand, is like super glue for your eyeshadows. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. This primer is so good. So I put this on and it dries down to like a velvety finish, and your eyeshadows will not move. They will not move when you put this on. This is incredible, and it's like $3 or $4. Super good, super inexpensive. So now we can talk about some eyes. The one brand from the drugstore that I would recommend for eyeshadows is e.l.f. And I have 2 palettes from their Mad for Matte collection, and this is their first one, I believe, and it's tore up because I use it all the time. It's more of neutrals, beautiful everyday. Let me not blind you guys. So it's got a lot more neutrals. These are very much so like everyday shades. I love this palette, and I've used it so much, and they are so creamy, so blendable, and such a good palette. This was like, I think $10 for all of these shades. So then they also recently came out with a newer one, which is like a lot more warm tone shades, which everybody loves some warm tones. So this is what this palette looks like, and I tried this out in a first impressions video, and it is just incredible. I love their shadows. They're so creamy. Not all of their eyeshadow palettes are good, but these Mad for Matte ones are incredible. I promise you, you will not regret buying them. And you get so many shades, and it's such good quality, and these are incredible. So yes, this is the one brand from the drugstore that I would really recommend for shadows. Another brand that I would recommend, but it's not at the drugstore, but ColourPop has drugstore prices, but they're just online. ColourPop, you know, their eyeshadows, I talk about them all the time, but their eyeshadow palettes are incredible. Now let's talk about some brows. The only thing I have for brows I would really recommend from the drugstore is, well, that I have on hand, the L'Oreal Brow Stylist pencils are super good from the drugstore. Super good for your brows. I just don't have them right now, but another thing from the drugstore that's super good for brows is the Brow Stylist Plumper. I have mine in the shade medium to dark, which is like a brown, and I've used this so many times on camera. Y'all know I love this eyebrow gel, and it's super good and has just a little wand, and you just brush them through. Super good, makes your eyebrows stay in place all day, and I love that it tints them and gives them a little bit more fullness. Super good from the drugstore. This is like $7 or $8, I want to say. So I have quite a few mascaras that I want to talk about from the drugstore. This is one area of the drugstore that I feel competes so much with the high-end brands is mascaras. I feel like almost all of my favorite mascaras are drugstore, and they are just as good, perform even better sometimes than high-end mascaras. So a few that I have here are, the first one that I have is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. If you want length, get this mascara. This mascara is like $4, and the length that this gives you, and it gives you thickness. Like it gives you everything that you'd ever want. It's got this like little long wand. This mascara is everything. This is what I wear when I want my lashes to look super dramatic, but I don't want to put falsies on. This is the mascara that I use. Super good. Another one that I use from the drugstore, I actually need to get a new one. This one's old. This is a super good mascara. I usually don't like the two-step ones. I just feel like it takes too much time. That's just me being lazy. But it has the one side where it's just the normal mascara. So you'll put this on, and then you'll go over it with the second layer, and you put this on, which is the fibers. But what I love is that the fibers do not fall on your eyes, get in your eyes, make you blind, because I've had that happen to me before. Not make me blind, but they fall into my eyes, and it's just so uncomfortable. So you'll put that second layer on, and then you'll go back in with the first layer, and this one gives you a lot of volume. This one gives you thickness, not so much length, but it gives you so much thickness, and it is so good. Another mascara that I have from Essence is, they're super good because they're super duper inexpensive. Like, I don't think there's anything in their brand over $10, and their mascaras are around $4. So this is another one from Essence that is called the Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara with Lengthening Fibers. So this one also has a thinner wand. I don't think I showed you the wand. The other one actually I did. So this has like a thinner wand. This one's super good for volume and length. It doesn't give you as much length as this one, the Lash Princess, but this one kind of gives you a little bit of both, and it is super good from the drugstore. And the last one you guys will be seeing in my favorites video. I don't know if that'll be up before or after this, but this is the NYX Worth the Hype mascara, and this is my everyday mascara. I love it because it doesn't give you a whole lot of volume or length and you're like, why would you want a mascara if it doesn't do all that? But it gives you, like, I can't even explain it really. It almost looks like you have individual lashes on. It makes them look super wispy, and I love the way it makes my lashes look. I wear this when I don't wear as much like eyeshadow or anything like that. I kind of like having bare lids and just this on it. It's just so wispy and beautiful. I love this mascara, and it's from NYX, so I think it's like $6 or $7. Super inexpensive. I think the most expensive one out of the bunch was probably this voluminous one, but all super good mascaras that I highly, highly recommend. A few setting sprays that I would recommend from the drugstore, one being the Wet n Wild Matte Finish Setting Spray. All of theirs are super good. I just have the matte finish one. I also really, really love the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray, and I think I talked about that one in my April favorites video. It's a super good spray from the drugstore, and I feel like it really does prolong my makeup and make it look so good all day. So yes, those are the two that I would recommend from the drugstore. Let's talk about sponges and brushes from the drugstore, because I know it's difficult to find stuff like that from the drugstore. So two sponges that I would really recommend from the drugstore, and I've talked about both of these on my channel before, so I mean, what's new? The Sonia Kashuk sponges, they come in a pack of 2 for $10, which means they're each $5, which is amazing. So it comes in a set of 2, and these are incredible. I love that they stand up on their own. Like, that's so cool and nice, but they have great, they have a great give, and they apply foundation so well. And the same goes for this EcoTool sponge, and this one will be in my June favorites as well. I'm not sure when that will be going up, but this is a great sponge, and I love the flat edges on this. This is, I don't know if I said this is from EcoTools, but this is a super good one, and this one comes in a pack of 2, I think, as well. So this one and a little bit one that's a little bit smaller. I think this was around $7 or $8. I think it might have been $10 as well with the other sponge in it. So $5 for a sponge, super good deal. I don't have really any like specific brushes that I would recommend from the drugstore. I'll just say that Real Technique brushes are incredible. You can get them at Ulta. I have so many of them, like so many of them. I love them, and they're a great brand from the drugstore. They are a little bit higher in price than I think that they should be at the drugstore, but they're incredible and great quality. I've had these for years. They are so good. So those are some brushes that I recommend from the drugstore. Last category is lips, and y'all already know that there's gonna be a million. So I'm just gonna recommend a few of my favorites from the drugstore, and I'm gonna start with my gloss. This is the NYX Butter Gloss. All of them are amazing. Like, I love them all. But this shade in particular is like one that I feel like everyone needs in their collection, because it is a little bit more of a sheer lip gloss. So it'll look good on anyone. It'll look good on any skin tone, but this color, do you not die? It's so beautiful. It's just like this beautiful brown nude shade, and I love it, and it looks good on everyone, and I think it's around $5 or $6. I have a couple Maybelline lip products that I love. I love their normal lipsticks. I love this shade. It's Nude Lust. Oh, that's a little promiscuous. But this is a super nude lipstick that I love. I love to wear when I'm wearing more of a dramatic eye. It just kind of, you know, mutes out my lips a little bit, but still gives it a good color. It's not like super nude where it looks like you have concealer on your lips. You know what I'm talking about. But so this is a super pretty lipstick, and this again is Nude Lust in 920. Another product from Maybelline that I love is the Color Jolt collection from them, and they're called Intense Lip Paints. They're like this, they smell like watermelon, so that's amazing. Literally smell like Lip Smackers watermelon. And the shade is my absolute favorite, and it's called, I don't know, oh, this is 05 Stripped Down. It's right next to that lipstick, but this is super good. It looks like a gloss, and it kind of, as you wear it throughout the day, kind of dries down to a matte, but like not a matte, it's almost just like a lipstick. Super good. They wear very well and super good, and I think they're like $6 or $7 as well. A few other lip products. The next one is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit lipsticks. These are super good liquid lipsticks from the drugstore. I feel like a lot of drugstore liquid lipsticks are so drying that you can't even wear them. So I have strayed away from them for a long time, but once I found this formula, I love it. So this is in the shade Nudie Patootie. I think it's called 920B. And this one's super nude. It's like a khaki brown nude. And I only wear this with like something else. Like I mix it in with something if I want something to be a little more nude or a little more neutral, because this is more cool tone. So it's this beautiful like brown nude. I honestly should wear this by itself. It's so beautiful. But this is a super good formula and it's like $5. Super inexpensive. Another product from Wet n Wild. I don't even know if they sell this shade anymore. I probably should have checked that before I uploaded this video, but I didn't. So this is 534B in mink brown, and I wore this in my red sultry eye makeup look on my lips, and this color is everything. I love this color. Wait, I don't think this is it. That wasn't actually the shade that I thought that it was, but this color is also very pretty. It's like a brownie nude. But so this one's 534B mink brown, but the one that I thought that I was going to be talking about is this one. This one's even more tore up. But this is 532E Java in this color. I'm gonna put it up here because there's no other room. Look at that color. Like, that is so beautiful. And these are great formulas, super creamy. They're like $2 or $3. So good from Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is pretty much anything that you get from their range is gonna be so good. They have incredible foundations. Their Photo Focus foundation is amazing. Their Photo Focus concealer is incredible. Their eyeshadows are great. Anything from Wet n Wild, like if I could pick one brand to talk about that you should go get anything from, it's Wet n Wild. They're incredible. So, and they're super inexpensive. The last lipstick I'm going to talk about is one that I've already talked about in my April favorites, but I'm going to talk about it again. I literally have like 7 backups of this lipstick. I think it's my favorite lipstick of all time, and it is the Rimmel, is it Rimmel? Rimmel lipstick, Kate lipstick in the shade 14. This color is everything. I'm gonna put this on the bottom. This is my perfect nude. Like, it is just the most beautiful pinky brownie nude, and I love it. And it's one that just kind of wears off naturally, doesn't make you crusty or anything like that. This is the one and only lipstick. I have like lipsticks and lip glosses in my purse, but this is the only lipstick I have because I love it so much. This is incredible, and I think it's like $4 or $5. Super good. Super inexpensive, and will be the best nude you ever wear. Okay, that was a long video. I think I gave you guys a lot of products that you guys should go pick up from the drugstore. If you guys pick some up and you love it, let me know down in the comments. If you guys want me to do any other kind of videos, make sure to comment down below as well. And like I said at the beginning of this video, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!